Thank you for coming to my YouTube video. As you can tell, this mainly is about converting PC to a Chrome book or Chrome OS using Google Chrome OS Flex. The PC here that you are looking at is a Dell Latitude E5420. It's a 14-inch screen, 250 gigabytes disk, 4 gigs of RAM. I did verify the production of this particular model through Wikipedia for the years 2011 and 2012. So depending on when it was made, it's either 10 years old or 11 years old. Mind you, this recording is, this day's date of this recording is July 29, 2022. Now, before I received this from Walmart, and I have the link for it, the price of this was, before shipping, was $145. After shipping, it was $158.41. But mind you, this is a very old notebook PC. It is preloaded with Windows 10 Pro. And before I got delivery, I went and bought a Microsoft mouse because I just rather use that than the touchpad. And on that, from Amazon, it was $27.84. But on the website it shows at $17 or $16.99. Now, one thing I want to show you before I open it up is the what's around it. There is a DVD player. I don't know if I can get enough light on it, and a USB port. And that right there is an old printer connector. Back in the time, this is the CD-ROM. It will play DVD, by the way. I have done that and verified it. That little thing sticking out there is the part of the Microsoft mouse. It has, and this is the first one I've ever seen, has a lock that you can lock so the it doesn't open up automatically. It's the first one I've ever seen. On the other side, HDMI, another USB port, a couple of others, and it appears this has a removable hard disk. I see something here, but I don't know what it is, and I'll look at that later. What's plugged in here is the power supply that was shipped with it, and it does work, by the way. It has this right here. When it's plugged in, glows, tell you that it is plugged in, and all of that right there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to plug in the power supply. I'm going to turn it out. I've already converted this from Windows 10 Pro to Google Chrome OS Flex. I spent most of the day yesterday making sure everything, the hardware was working. The power supply works. The battery's working. In fact, the power supply charged up the battery. The touchpad works. And be aware of this. Some people don't like the tap part on the pad. If you want to turn that off, you're going to disable the mouse. So definitely get a Microsoft mouse, and then when you plug it in, that takes over for that and it disables the other one. If you were to suddenly unplug it from the computer, the touchpad takes over. Now, as far as the software goes, I went ahead and updated the Windows 10 Pro. Being the age of this thing, it's a bit taxing for the PC, for the processor, the memory, the RAM, and maybe the CPU. But it works. So if you like it enough, if you order one and you like it enough, by all means you should go ahead and place the order, excuse me, and go from there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop it for a second, this recording, and open this up and plug in the power supply. So just 1 second, please. Okay, I've opened the lid. Now one of the things that's kind of nice, this is the power button. You got a volume up, volume down, and a mute. On the other side, you can't see it, but there are 3 lights that's going to be here. One is for battery charging, if it's being charged. The other one's a hard disk and just a power. There's the touchpad. This pad does work, believe it or not. I spent most of the day on the Windows environment to see that everything was working. Now, in the paperwork I got with this, it said it does have virus software. I will tell you, in my own personal opinion, Windows Defender is not a virus software. So if you decide to invest that kind of money in an older computer to use under a Windows environment, please get something like McAfee LifeSafe or something like that. Because I can tell you, Windows Defender is really inadequate. There's too many things as far as viruses. They're always dealing with 0-day exploits and a lot of other things. Now, I'm going to turn it on. By the way, that glowing light you see right there, the power supply, that tells you at least it's when it's plugged in and working. And like I said, the Windows 10 Pro isn't zippy. I mean, it's not fast because it's a bit taxed with the 4 gigs of RAM and a processor that's maybe not be so as stellar. This is what they have on here. Now I'm going to press the power key here, and you see it powering up. The Dell thing came up. Chome OS Flex. Now it's going to ask me for my password. This is one of the things I haven't resolved yet. I have to enter my email address, my password, not a 4 or 6 digit number to sign in. Not like on my HP Windows 10, and you can see they ask for that. There's a few things down here below. As far as lights, that is that's the disk. And anyway, give me a moment. I will sign in. We'll go to the next phase here. Okay, I just signed in, and you see the some of the icons down below. Just for your for information, you have a selection of wallpaper that comes with Chome OS Flex, but you can also save any picture and use it as wallpaper. And this is one I chose. And I see a message here. It says, restore apps. Continue from where you left off. You can set apps to always restore on startup or turn off restore in settings. So give me a moment. Let me figure this out. Okay, I went ahead and done that, and I also connected to the Wi-Fi to my home internet. There are, of course, you've got several. I'm using the mouse on the other side here, on the left side, but on the far corner, it's what's called launcher. It's on the lower left corner, and when you click on it, you get all these different other applications on there. Also on the taskbar, you have Google Chrome, Gmail, what's called Google Calendars, Files, Messages, Google Meet, and of course YouTube. And of course if I click on Google, it comes up. Now I'm going to try something here as an extra bonus. I'm going to show you a thing called a new feature on Google Maps, where you go back 15 years at a certain property and how it looks on Street View. So give me a moment. I'm going to try it out in just a second and see if I can do it here. It's an extra bonus. So one moment. Okay, for 30 years, from February of 1982 until I moved out in 2012, I lived at 3301 West Mohawk Lane. I've got Google Maps open. It's showing the map location. And if you look closely, if I can get it to focus here, on the ledger there's a little yellow man. I don't think you can see it, but it's there. And what I'm going to do, and by the way, this is what the house looks like now. This is from the street view. Now, the house originally was built with a one-car garage and 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. It was literally a 900 square feet home. Now, after I moved out in October of 2012, there's been more than a couple of owners, and they spent a gazillion dollars adding on to the house. It's probably a 3 bedroom, 2 baths. The garage, for the most part, was closed off. So I guess extra living space, they decided to make it. Now, I'm going to take my mouse, my pointer. While I'm on maps, I'm going to click on the little yellow guy down here. And I'm going to drop it, if I can do it. Drop the little circle. Drop the little circle on the pin. Now, this is the view of the house. But you look up, you will see what's called Street View. Street View app. So if I click it, it's April 2022. It gives me a different, totally different view of the old house in 1980. So it's March of 2008. I'm going to click on that. Now you look at this right here. Let me close this window. The old house, before it was added on, different color. That pickup truck is my old Ford F-150. Now I can tell you, even though it goes back all the way to 2008, the image was scanned probably 9 months earlier, because I had my tailgate stolen. And the big Chevy pickup was my next door neighbor's. I let him use that to keep it off the street. Phoenix, City of Phoenix was getting on to him about it. And you notice that the landscape is much different. The white rock, the saguaro cactus, and it had a little arm at the time. I actually planted that back in 1982. So I'm going to close this. It goes back to maps. And if I click the street view, there it is now. You notice that the changes that's been made, and you see how much longer the house is. But like I said, it was added on to, and they made changes on the backyard as well. So anyway, it's just a feature I wanted to share with you, and I did this on my Google Chrome OS Flex. But anyway, I welcome your comments. Anyway, also I'm going to encourage you to look at the other YouTube videos on how to convert an old PC into a Chromebook, Google OS Flex Chrome. Now, I still have a couple of kinks I need to work out. One is the very fact that when I sign in, I have to sign in with my email address instead of a 6-pin number. If I were to lock this PC and need to unlock it, all I have to enter is a 6-pin number. I'm kind of like the idea of having that on a device, but I'm going to see if I can resolve that. Another issue, excuse me, is getting permissions to use the microphone on the computer. It may be that if it's like an older notebook PC, you have to buy it or use an external microphone to make a phone call with Google Voice. But I'll find out on that. Anyway, the other thing I want to show you, there is no camera, none. So if I were to do a video call, Skype, Messenger, Google Duo, or I would definitely need to get an external camera. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this. It's just that it took all day. I was more focused on making sure everything was working on this. And I'm going to get the user manual and specifications for this particular model. In fact, I found the link for that and learn more about this. Anyway, thank you for your time, and have a pleasant day. Bye for now.